Listen to that. There's only one real way to describe this sound and this feeling. ChampCar is back in the electric racing league for the preseason tests for season 7. Already you can see 12 teams ready to get back on track. Brand new team in Trackhouse Racing joining for their first ChampCar World Series season. As you can see, some returning faces, some new faces, some faces who have taken a championship, and some faces who are receiving a second chance. It's brilliant to see all of this in the Electric Racing League. Hello and welcome back to Sparkplug Motorsport and our coverage of the Season 7 ChampCar World Series, and our first broadcast, of course, the pre-season test. 15 races, the longest ERL USA series. We start off in St. Petersburg, Florida, before the ChampCar Trophy of London. Quebec, Canada hosts round 3 from the first ever ChampCar race in China. We've held IndyCar races in China, but never under the ChampCar World Series name. Long Beach, California hosts round 5 from Surfers Paradise, Australia, and Twin Ring Motegi. Germany will be our 8th round from Toronto, Canada, Belgium, Mexico City, Monterrey, Mexico, Ontario, Sao Paulo, and we will end off at the Indianapolis Roval. Brandon animates for Conquest Racing, first man to start a flying lap, but we've got yellows already in the opening sector. That seems to be, if I have this right, potentially one of... Ooh, that does seem to be quite the problem down there. As we go on board with Kimi Nyla, rookie driver. And can't quite catch who was causing all of that hubbub, but as now Christian Bentley for Sims 888 TGR, runner-up in the FG Series last season. He's on track with Sims, getting the ride in the ChampCar World Series. It's honestly great to be back. Trackhouse Racing, brand new to ChampCar, absolutely dominated the back half of last season's FG Series. But the man of the hour is this man driving the number 3, Guillermo Perez. Debuted in Season 5, was making waves in Season 5, in fact, has been in the title hunt in the past 2 seasons. Thwarted by Daf Sanchez, thwarted again by his teammate, Nicholas Palomino, his best buddy, in fact. Now they're both gone. Due to the bushwhacking rule, they must only compete in Formula E. Could this be the season where the Spaniard can get himself on top? Matthew Hart, he's one who wants to get himself on top. His brother, Edward Hart, now making his first ERL Series starts in the FG Series. And if what we've seen from that test is representative, well, the Hart name is going to have some very easy times. Devin Butler returning to the ERL. And for Power Motorsport, it does seem like they're the team of returns, because Season 15 Formula E champion Akari Lopez back on the grid. The man known for creating Pinnacle Motorsport and becoming the first real owner-driver to take a championship. He's now driving for Power Motorsport, returning to the ERL in the ChampCar World Series. So it's Kazuki Sims Takahana who has the fastest lap of the preseason test here in Jerez, Andalusia, Spain. The son, of course, of his team owner, now being dethroned by Lam Fong in the number 73 Dragon racing car. Dragon going red this season. Just on that note of Kazuki Takahana, the man in the number 11 car, wanting to become only the second Japanese ERL champion in any of our 3 categories. Antonio Ponte out there on a fast lap as well now, beginning his fast lap. It seems either that or that was the fast lap. He's 10 seconds off of the fastest time. And it's very rare that you ever hear the term bust in the ERL. Davide Circulera might have been one of the biggest ERL busts last season, joining the top team at the time, Hyperdrive Racing, and almost single-handedly ruining their chances of taking the championship, although arguably it is the team's fault too, because he had never at that point run an ERL 02 race. Obviously, the goal for the season for the Brazilian driver is to regroup and continue, but now his teammate, a rookie, Zenzo, also Brazilian, the 91, also likely with some pace to show off. We've got under 5 minutes left in this pre-season test. Taking a look at Matteo Klosket, the Belgian driver, now the second Belgian driver to drive in the ChampCar World Series. Of course, Grace Hunter, the first for Aaron McLaren SP in Season 5. We've got some yellows down at the opening corner, which is interesting to see. We've seen now 2 yellow flags in this pre-season test. We've missed both of them, but it's not too much you can do when you can't exactly take a look at the drivers as they run on track. Vita Alves, Brazil's number 12, now with a fastest lap, 7 thousandths of a second quicker than Davide Circulera, and Cornwell has hit the wall. Chris Cornwell, the Season 2 FG Series champion, has hit the wall, coming to grips with the Hyperdrive Racing car. Hyperdrive Racing themselves have stated that they don't expect to be the outright fastest car this season, and if where they are right now in this test is anything to go by, well, you kind of have to believe them. This is Cornwell's 4th lap in the test so far. Compare that to Akari Lopez, who comes down into pit lane. He was just on his 6th. His teammate, Cornwell's teammate that is, Ica World, how many laps has he done? I think, yes, 6 laps as well. And what we're seeing right now, Nord Hyperdrive severely off the pace. Now, of course, they could be doing some very long runs, and of course, we've seen already damage for Chris Cornwell's car. But my oh my, we did not expect to see neither of the Hyperdrives outside of the top 15. We got yellows in Sector 1 again. And it's for Guillermo Perez, who has hit the wall and has damaged the top 2 fastest men out on track, both setting an outlap right now, on board with Lam Fong, who is on a hot lap. Turn up the volume for this part, boys. This is going to be a good one. Using every single ounce of the battery at the end, and still a second off the pace on that lap. Looks like still Dragon Racing probably the team to beat. 1 and 3 so far in this preseason test, as we are now running out of laps. Chris Cornwell back on track then to set another lap. Times in testing aren't too representative, as we see Dominic Hudson, superstar rookie of Season 3 of the IndyCar Series, coming down into pit lane. Might not get the chance to set a quick lap again. I think that was Cornwell letting Vita go by. And for the man in the number 12 car, if Dragon Racing really have as quick as a car as it seems that they have, then that is some brilliant news. But that is not. That is a backwards-facing Hyperdrive Racing car. And it's Chris Cornwell again. The Englishman having an absolutely torrid preseason. Not able to set a true representative lap time, drops to 17th for quite possibly one of the most anticipated drivers on the grid. If this preseason test is anything to go by, Vita Alves, Davide Circulera, Lam Fong, the stars of the grid, but still, my heart and all of the storylines coming into the season are telling us Cornwell versus Bentley versus Perez, potentially versus Hart. That is what we could be seeing this season as the clock strikes 0. For this man, it's just horrors. What a terrible preseason test for him. Mateo Kloske. Again, another name that I'm going to have to research how to pronounce properly. On his flying lap for Team Trackhouse, Dominic Hudson was going to set a flying lap, but take a look at that front wing. It wasn't going to be too quick anyway. Both Trackhouse men were on flying laps there. And Rai Franca, the new Brazilian kid on the block, with the fastest lap of the preseason test, going 0.3 of a second quicker than Dragon Racing's best effort, and Ica World goes even quicker. Multiple-time Formula E race winner Ica World now with the fastest lap time of the preseason test. Ponte not on a flying lap, so what can Mateo Kloske do? He can go and set one even faster. So this, your official times and standings from today's preseason test. Mateo Kloske, your fastest man on the track with a 57.276, quite a ways quicker than Ica World, and Mateo's own teammate Rai Franca is a 3.45 for your Brazilian drivers. Rider Alves 4 from Davi Sugura, then it's Lam Fong, Danny Ortega, Devin Butler, and Kazuki Sims Takahana. Brandon Anime, so rookie for Conquest Racing, is 10th from Kimi Nyla in 11th and Zenzo in 12th. That's a 3-way tie for position. If you are only looking at 10ths of a second, they are separated by just 5 thousandths of a second, 10th through 12th. Those are your rookie drivers. Then you've got Dominic Hudson from Ray Shen and Antonio Ponte, Guillermo Perez 16th from Ahmed Zoya and Kyle Lopez, Matthew Hart and Chris Cornwell. Those are 2 names that we expect to do very well this season, but just didn't seem to have any luck to set a very representative time. You can tell for the Nord Hyperdrive man, especially considering how quickly Ica got to grips with that car. Had Chris not been thrown around the track, they almost certainly would have had a similar pace to show. Matthias Antonio and Dominic Vanstelau, 21st and 22nd for KV Racing Technologies. Christian Bentley, 23rd, and Francis Austin, bottom of the standing sheet. Well, we have some colours to correct on the timing tower, as you can see, because KV Racing Technology should not be white. And a lot more like that. So, that just leaves one more preseason test to go. The big one, Formula E hitting Madrid for the first time. There'll be a Madrid Racing Formula E, we believe. If not, there certainly will be one in Spain. Make sure to subscribe to Sparkplug Motorsport, not just for the Formula E preseason test, but for the full Season 28, Season 7 and Season 3 in the Electric Racing League. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this, and we will see you guys next time then when the Electric Racing League returns.